Trump will literally tell you all his plans. Like, this man will literally tell you what he's going to do in the future, and y'all will literally think he's playing. And then when he does it, y'all are some more hooting and hollering and talking about some, oh, no, oh my God.
I can't believe Trump just said this.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
But Jess, Trump is right. If Democrats don't sign this spending bill, it's their fault for the government shutdown.
Do you know why they're not signing it?
Because they don't want to give Trump his way, ever.
Nope. Do you have health care?
Yeah.
How would you feel if your insurance went up 75%?
I wouldn't like that.
This spending bill would let ACA subsidies expire, which would make premiums jump 75% for millions of Americans.
Wait, really?
Do you support the education system?
Yes.
This bill slashes education funding by 15% and eliminates all funding for public broadcasting.
Oh, so Democrats not signing the bill is an attempt to help everyday Americans?
Exactly. And here's the thing. Trump's already been firing federal workers all year. He's already been cutting programs. But now he's using the shutdown as an excuse to blame all of it on Democrats.
You're right. Republicans control all three branches of government. Maybe they're to blame.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So Trump gets asked what he's doing as the president to end the government shutdown, and his response is honestly very disappointing. Honestly, it feels like this government shutdown isn't going to be ending anytime soon, right? I don't think priorities are in the right place. He blames it on the Democrats. Watch the clips, you'll see what he said. But drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about all of this? I want to know what you think. Credit goes to all the original creators. And, let's watch and we'll be back with some commentary.
What are you doing as president to end the shutdown?
What we're doing is we keep voting. I mean, the Republicans are voting almost unanimously to end it, and the Democrats keep voting against ending it.
Of course, this POS, the administration, and the far right just can't take accountability or responsibility. They literally run the House and the Senate. They have full control of the government. Full control of the government. This is not on Democrats. This is on y'all. This is on y'all. You guys want to blame it on Obamacare and say, we don't want to accept these votes from Democrats because we want to get rid of Obamacare. No. The reason why you guys don't want to agree with Democrats on the situation is because you don't want trans people and undocumented people to have health insurance. That is why the government shut down. Do not let these far-right buffoons on the internet lie to you. That is exactly why. They do not want LGBTQ people, specifically trans people, and undocumented people to have health insurance. Specifically, Obamacare. That's why they shut down the government. When I tell y'all racism, homophobia is too expensive in this country. It is too expensive in this country. And now millions and millions of people are about to starve. Starve. We're literally approaching the longest government shutdown in American history. Because people are afraid of trans people. Because people are afraid of undocumented people. Because y'all have phobias of them. Because you don't understand them. Imagine being 70 years old. You're literally about to die. You this pressed about a trans woman. This pressed about somebody who's fleeing another country to have a better life. Weird.
And for those that are suffering with cost of living increases and saying they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Well, I'd be very upset with Biden. Biden. When you say the government, you're talking about the Biden government. Biden. So Biden, that's what made Biden the worst president. Biden, by the way, who, by the way, is building a museum.
America is about to get really gross, because I can already see that Trump is emboldening people to fulfill their hateful dreams. Being an average, normal-looking white guy, it puts me in a room with a lot of white people that feel safe around me. And when they feel safe, they say the craziest shit. So I have a good idea of the type of vitriol that they hold towards groups of people that are not like them. Trump does a great job of normalizing racism. Anything that Trump can label as woke culture is going to be targeted. In his speech today, he targeted DEI, which is just a dog whistle for black people, and then he targeted trans people. When the president of the United States is normalizing these things, other people are going to feel like it's normal to do these things in public. So we are going to see a lot of freaks out there that are going to feel comfortable saying insane things in public. I will not be surprised if people are aggressive towards minorities because Trump is making that okay. He has members of his cabinet talking about, if you see immigrants, call us, let us know, be snitches. Part of the issue is the people he's emboldening is white people, and they have the ability to kind of be violent with no repercussions. And they are so good at playing the victim card, so if somebody decides to clap back at them, they are just gonna say that they were targeted. And when the entire police, military, government is all right-wing freaks, there's really no answer. And I would guess the comments on this video will give me a good example of the freaks that I'm talking about, because we are not even on day one. It only gets worse from this point on.
And I said, I don't see the government reopening. It just doesn't seem feasible. I also said in that video that this is an intentional hostage politics situation, right? Now the banks. If you can't directly correlate how the banks are the main foundation of the American economy, the Fed's pumping billions of dollars overnight into the banks is not a coincidence. It is a red flag that has been happening, and this is like the Hail Mary. Like, let's pump them. It's a Band-Aid. It's not a cure. But the government is still shut down. Federal employees are still laid off. That means people aren't making payments to the banks. They aren't purchasing new capital, new anything, right? Go larger than that. Federal shutdown. Billions go into SNAP every month for people to buy groceries, which it goes into our economy. People aren't going to be doing that. Large corporations are going to start laying people off, which means less people receiving payments, which that's all connected. It's all connected. And I don't give a fuck what you say. This government shutdown is to protect pedophiles. Let's keep it very cut and dry. They don't want to vote on the releasing the Epstein files. All of this to protect pedophiles. And mostly to protect the biggest one, which is running the country currently. We are witnessing, the other day, let me backtrack to what I just said. I said, I fear we are witnessing. No, we are witnessing the fall of the American government. Like, it's happening in real time in front of our eyes right now. We are witnessing it firsthand. Like, this is happening. Like, the collapse is happening. We are in it. It is crumbling. It is what it is at this point. We got to let it crumble. There's no fixing what's going on. There's no fixing it. And yeah, he's like, we'll partially fund SNAP this month. Like, are you? Because the government's still going to be shut down next month. It's not. I don't see it reopening. This is the fall of the American government. The rebuild is going to be, wow.
This isn't me trying to fearmonger. This is just me trying to prepare you. The U.S. economy right now is like a Jenga tower with 18 fucking pieces missing. We are one piece pulled out away from everything just toppling down. AI was responsible for 40% of U.S. GDP growth this past year and 80% of U.S. stock growth. And the manufacturing industry has contracted for 7 consecutive months, while every other economic indicator is saying this is as bad as things have been since 2009. Now, when you have a sentence that says the economy is as bad as it's been since 2009, you are fucked. So again, this is not me fear-mongering. This is just me preparing you. Our economy is in a very bad place. If you have a job, hold on to it with everything you have.
Officially the longest shutdown in U.S. history. People think it's just about politics and budgets, but it's not. It's about control, collapse, and financial reset. They're not fixing the system. They're breaking it on purpose. Everything is becoming so unaffordable, and we're living paycheck to paycheck. Most of us are struggling to survive. And I believe as we struggle, they're going to present their solution, which will be digital currency, which will give them full control. Look around. People are losing jobs to AI, the dollar is losing value, and inflation keeps growing. Every shutdown, every crisis, every fix that they create moves us closer to a digital system. Other countries have already shown us how it works. Nigeria has forced digital cash. China ties spending to a social credit score. Europe is preparing the digital euro and is already enforcing the digital ID. In America, we are next. So I don't think this shutdown is temporary. I think it's transformational. It's designed to destroy trust in the old system so they can roll out the new one. New system will be completely digital. The Bible warned us about a time that would come that no one could buy or sell without the mark. We are watching that prophecy unfold right now in real time. This isn't conspiracy. This is prophecy. And while the world looks for answers in politics, the real answer has always been spiritual. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We can't escape what's coming, but we can trust in him. Everything happening right now is part of an agenda, but it was also written about long before it began. So repent and turn to Jesus. He's coming soon.
I'm going to choose my words really carefully here. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go into great detail to explain it to you if you can't figure it out. The shutdown and everything that's happening around it, and watching Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries specifically, but not just them, should be like the final, event that dispels any notion in anyone's head that the Democratic Party is going to be able to stand up to Trump. And it's going to be the institution, apparatus, organization, choose your words, that will lead not only the opposition, but the resistance to Donald Trump. They're failing at opposition. They're definitely not going to lead resistance. And where we are right now, in this moment, we need to be at resistance, not just opposition. And the reason why I say I choose my words wisely is because people are going to be in the comment section asking, well, what can they do? What can they do? They can't do anything. They don't have what they should be doing is not the sort of thing that you're going to find written in the Constitution. And the sort of coordination that you should be seeing from them across all levels of government, from state to local, county, and federal, there should be way more coordination going on. And they should be acting together and in unison. And they are not doing that. And they are not going to do that. You look at Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, you've never seen two people more unprepared for this moment, right? And they went into this shutdown dragged into it, clearly. They just felt they had no choice, right? And they had no plan beyond just shut it down and hope Trump caves. Trump's not going to cave. Look at this article from the New York Times. This is the president of the United States who is going to ratchet up the pain for Americans 100-fold to prove a point. He is going to beat the American people like a dog. And the opposition party has no plan for dealing with that. There should be so much coordination, and they should be acting in unison. And we are in the middle of a soft civil war. It has already been going on already. This president and his cronies have been dismantling illegally and unconstitutionally the federal government, and they have been exacting violence on the American people for 9 months now. We are not at a, well, let's just shut it down and hope we can save a couple dollars for Obamacare, because that's what this is. That's all this is. And this president's not even going to allow that to happen. So, I don't know. What I anticipate happening, this just gets worse and worse and worse until the Democrats cave and come back and sign and vote in favor of the motion to proceed on the funding bill, and this was all for naught. And all it will have done is just escalate the Project 2025 agenda leaps and bounds. This party and its elected officials, not just like the institution of the party, but the elected officials who call themselves Democrats, have failed since last year before the election to prepare for this. They, especially Joe Biden, have failed since the election in the interregnum between the election and inauguration to prepare for this. And they are failing to execute this in the 9 months since. This administration has captured the Supreme Court. It has captured just about every agency of the federal government. It has captured Congress. And the Democrats have significant, and I would say still almost equal with Republicans. They have power when you take all of their elected officials and the governments that they represent together. You understand? But they're not going to exercise that power. We're talking about like 60% of the American economy is governed in blue states. A massive portion of the population. All the big cities, you know, with the exception of a few, you know, Texas and Florida especially. We're talking an incredible amount of resources and power. And these schmucks just aren't going to exercise it at all. And they're going to sell us down the river, and people are going to die, become unemployed, they are going to starve, they are not going to have their health insurance or their medicine. It's going to continue to get so much worse. And every time something happens, the Democratic Party at best is responding to it. They've done nothing proactive. It's all just, even the gerrymandering thing here in California, that's just a response, right? Nothing proactive about that. This is a disaster. And the people who are going out of their way to bend over backwards and defend that party, it's absolutely disgraceful.
With all the chaos that is going on in America right now, you would think that these people would put away their personal interests and just try to do something that would benefit all Americans, right? That Americans could have better lives, would stop suffering. I mean, people can't even afford to eat anymore, right? No EBT stamps, nothing. Nobody can eat. A lot of people are going hungry. People are begging. People are having to go and stand in lines at food banks just for food for hours. Right? And it just feels like Americans are not the priority anymore. People go to work and they don't get paid. How do they afford food? Airports, nobody can travel. Right? People are having to close down their businesses because of this. Know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that this would get better soon, or do you think that Americans are in for a long ride? Honestly, I don't think any plans are being put in place to end this shutdown. You know, honestly, if I'm being honest, right? But credit goes to all original creators. Thank you so much for tapping in when you saw this. And as usual, I'll see you on my next one.